Namaste, Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to MMK The Eagle View. So thanks for your overwhelming support. We will continue to give you the best possible content, very unique and a very detailed research oriented content. Do support us by sharing it, liking it, and keep the bell icon pressed so that you get the notifications on a daily basis. So at the start we have planned to post one video per day with a duration of around 20 to 30 minutes. Depending on a response, we will further go to the next level. Now today we are going to see about the threat and impact of cyber warfare. Yes, we have seen the conventional warfare which fascinates us, the fighter jets, bombing a location, the artilleries, the missiles, the rockets, but equally as we move ahead in technology, today on the connectivity front we are at 5G, we are heading to 6G, and on the internet front I think everything is connected now, be it a smartphone, smart cars, smart cameras, smart watches, even the smart lightings, every possible thing. So now one of our team member who's a subject matter expert in cyber has researched this in detail and he has given us a detailed article. With his permission, I'll post his Twitter link and also this detailed research article once I get his consent. Now let's see what exactly has happened. When we speak about the Israel-Hamas conflict, which is currently on, we have seen enough of information about Hamas doing an attack on Israel and Israel reacting it with bombings and the ground forces going in. So that's one side of it. Equally, there was a sizable amount of cyber warfare which was happening. Now let's see who are the players. Obviously Hamas and Palestine. Hamas is one player and Israel we have another player. So let's look at that in detail. So there was 35 cyber attack teams, hacking groups which targeted Israel on this. I'll just read out few names of it. So we can classify this as a pro-Palestine cyber army. Mysterious Team Bangladesh, Team Herox, Ghost of Palestine, Anan Ghost, Ghost Clan, Anonymous Sudan, Team Insane Pakistan, Ganosak Team, Team Azrael Angel of Death, Gamesla Team, Moroccan Black Cyber Army, Hacktivism Indonesia, Exploitation, Electronic Tiger Unit, Hezbollah Cyber Team, Star X Team, Seas Crew, TVG Team, Eagle Cyber Crew, Ghost Chain Malaysia, 1915 Team, Kerala Cyber Extractors, Killnet, and so on. So there are total 35 teams which targeted Israel. So there are 4 more hacking teams which actually supported Israel, which in turn acted against Palestine. Team UCC operations, Garuna operations, Indian Cyber Force, surprising, and then Silent One. So these are the 4. So the force level here is 35 cyber attack teams supporting Palestine, and there are 4 cyber teams which is supporting Israel. All these are non-state actors per se, or they may be a state sponsored one. We really don't know. All these guys have this fancy names. We really don't know which nationality they belong, or most of them are even multinational. So now let's look at what they have done. So this is a very technical article. I'll try to simplify it and keep it simple for people like us who are not tech-savvy. So there's an organization which monitors this. It's called Cloudflare. So Cloudflare has reported there is an uptick of cyber attacks on Israel, which includes 1.26 billion HTTP DDoS attack. So DDoS attack in simple term, any website when we design it, your own websites, the websites you use is catered for certain amount of traffic, number of users accessing that website in a given point of time. When we say like the most used websites like IRCTC, where we book our rail tickets, at 10 o'clock when you try to log in, you find difficulty in logging in because lakhs and lakhs of users log in at the same point of time. This is what these hackers precisely do. 1.26 billion times they have gone into this website. So thereby most of the vital and important websites of the Israeli government became unresponsive. So this is called a DDoS attack. But Israel has its own, they are also tech savvy. There will not be much large scale disruptions per se. So out of 8,600 odd cyber attacks which was reported in the month of October 2023, 600 was specifically targeted on Israel. Now, which are the countries who did this? Where these hackers come from? It ranges from Russia, Palestine, Bangladesh, Sudan, Indonesia, Pakistan, Morocco, Yemen, Afghanistan. So all put together there are 35 hacking groups which targeted Israel and 4 which targeted Hamas. One is Indian, supposed to be an Indian group, Indian Cyber Defender. So now what all they have done? So one is freezing the website by DDoS attack. And now there is a very serious issue which we need to see here. There is a company, a DNA mapping company, a DNA genetic testing company we can say. It's called 23andMe. 23andMe's official website was hacked by these hacking groups and they took out millions of Jews' DNA data. Now this is quite serious. So in India we don't go for a DNA test per se, very rare scenarios we do. This is slowly, most of the metros are today have got it. I happened to speak to a doctor about this who is into this subject, in this field. He said that it's better to do a DNA test for everyone. What it does is basically they check your DNA. They are able to analyze what sort of diseases you will get, your cancer history, how likely are you to be affected with cancer, lifestyle diseases like hereditary diseases like heart attack and diabetes and so on. So the moment you are able to identify this at an earlier age, so you are able to monitor your health, prepare yourself, adjust your food, change your lifestyle and act accordingly. So this is a upcoming one in India, but in Israel everybody does it. So millions of this data has been hacked and they have used Monkey Golem and they have published it in the cyber hackers forum. So this when they steal a data, the data has some value. They have to sell it somewhere, right? So that's a cyber hackers forum. Like we have bikers forum, we go and discuss about bikes. Similarly, this guys discuss about in the hackers forum. One of such forum is called breach forum. All this data, the sample of this data has been put on sale. They say we have millions of DNA genetic data of these Jews. We will give it to you, it's up for sale. And to prove it, they have given a few hundred samples which you can freely download. And it also has targeted 4 million 23andMe, this genetic testing companies, data where their ancestry is linked to Great Britain. And they have included genetic profiles of wealthy Jewish families who serve Zionism and also wealthiest people who live in US and Western Europe. So we know why this has been done. When this data is up for sale, if you really need to target these people, we can kind of make anything. When you have the genetic data, if somebody is allergic to some food or a drug, you can kind of mask it and give it to them and kill them, or you can affect their health. So that's a risk which is here. So a companies which data is supposed to be highly secured has been completely hacked and has been put on breaches forum up for sale. Now the second thing which they have done in this is, so when we all know Israel has a very robust alert systems, the emergency alert systems. These days all of us would have received a notification on the phone from the Indian government testing this feature. If there is a national alert, any emergency, man-made or natural disasters, the citizens has to be alerted. So Israel has a very robust app for this. So what they have done is, when the missile comes in, so every Israeli citizen gets an alert in his mobile through an app. So what this hacktivists have done is, a hacktivist group called Anonymous Sudan, basically it's a Russian origin one, they've launched a DDoS attack on this app. So lot of information goes in, lot of logins going into that app. They tried door knocking it and then finally the app becomes unresponsive. And they also created a imposter version of a red alert app. The red alert is the one which every Israeli citizen will have. Even the visitor who goes there will download it to react to emergencies like a missile or an incoming rocket. Now when the red alert has been cloned, they made an imposter app which exactly resembles the original one. And by installing that, it takes off all your data, and it also sends you false alarms, and it also prevents the alarm reaching you. So that's why if you see in this particular conflict, we would have seen more Israeli casualties because of the rocket attacks. Otherwise, Israelis are not bothered about rockets. There is a set drill. There is an underground bunker. You can reach in 90 seconds from any of the major places you have. If you're in a shopping mall, wherever you are, you can reach that bunker in 90 seconds, in 1.5 minutes. Now, this has been breached by a solid DDoS attack. Now coming to the Israeli government websites. We all know the government websites will be targeted. We have seen the Delhi AIMS website was hacked and the data was breached. There was a complete freeze of AIMS for almost 24 to 48 hours. Later on our Computer Emergency Response team, CERT, they went and managed it and they recovered the data. Because you see that the AIMS goes, these days everything is online. When you go and give a slip, they fill in the patient detail and the data remains in the hospital system. And then how many times you revisit, the data can be pulled back and it can be iterated in any which way. So now they have targeted this thing. So there is a Russian group called Killnet. Killnet did the same DDoS attack 1.26 billion times. And most of the Israeli government websites became unresponsive on the day 1 and day 2 of the war. So anybody who wants to send a communication, the Israeli Defense Ministry wants to send a communication, they were not able to do because of this particular Killnet group, a Russian hacking group, launching a DDoS attack on the Israeli government websites. Now we can come to the next one. So there is a Palestine hacker group called Ghosts of Palestine. So they sent an invitation to all the hacking groups across the world in the dark web to launch a all-out attack on Israel and America. So there is a group called Libyan Ghost. So they were not able to breach the government and the agencies and the bigger organization websites of Israel. What they did is they started defacing the smaller ones. Like even I do have a website which is a very small web page. So such places, web pages of the influencers, the retired army officers, the intelligence officers, those were targeted and those were taken down in support of Hamas. So there is one Israeli newspaper which is called Jerusalem Post. So they also targeted that and they literally took down the website completely. So the source of information, unless you have a physical reporter in the country, like what the Indian media reports is basically extract from what the Jewish media and the Western media, the people who are on ground, so they have an agreement, they pay some money and take the news and they publish it. But here, Jerusalem Post is a very important newspaper, News Daily. So that website was hacked and it was put off completely. Now, Israel's Ministry of Education, because the schools and colleges were shut, so they were working out to go for a online mode of study to the students per se. So all that was based on Zoom. Now they hacked the Zoom platform, which the Israeli Education Ministry was using it, and then there's something called Zoom bombing. Zoom bombing is nothing but 5 of us are in a call on a Zoom meet, an official meet, or maybe a casual meet. Suddenly 50, 100 odd IDs, bots and IDs, they come in, they create, they abuse you, they troll you. They put some, pornographic images. Such attacks was done on the Ministry of Education of the Israeli government. They were forced to shift to Google Meet because they were not able to stop this. And then we have seen Israelis continuously receiving threat messages through SMS and WhatsApp. And this was done by Hamas sympathizers in Yemen and Afghanistan. The route is traced back to Yemen and Afghanistan. And there is an article from Bloom which reports that the Jewish children were told to remove or delete their social media accounts, especially in Instagram and TikTok. Now, those parents who have let their child, TikTok in any way which India has banned, but at least Instagram, this was done on an advisory by the Israeli government. Why? Because they will cleanly observe what I am trying to tell you here. There is lot of disturbing and very gory images floating in the internet. So this is all comes from the Hamas side. If that is seen by a child, a tender child, like some child which is like 8 years to up to say for example 16, 17 years, they are going to get affected psychologically, and that psychological damage can be permanent. We really don't know. So that's the reason Israeli kids were told to remove their social media profiles and accounts. They were soft targets, they were easy targets. You know, we all know the most used password in India is password at the rate of 123. So we got to now look at the cyber security at our point of view. Nothing is insecure, that's a different story. But how difficult you make the hacker to extract your data is what matters. So please secure your passwords, especially the Wi-Fi passwords, your emails, your banking account. That has to be frequently updated and changed, and it has to have some robustness. It cannot be like, password 123 or welcome 123. Now, those of you who have let your teenage children have an Instagram account are vulnerable to become a soft target in such case of an event of a cyber attack or a war or a conflict with our neighbor Pakistan or China, we may face in future. Now there's another thing which has come in. This is like unimaginable. The Israeli military soldiers and Israelis one important security agency called Shabak. Now everybody knows about Mossad, Shin Bet. Now Shabak is a very important intelligence agency. It's an intelligence agency. The officers and soldiers who are working in Shabak, their personal information has been hacked, and the hacker forum has put it. The hackers have put it in a forum called Blackfield. And they are selling the military data, Israeli soldiers, especially Shabak's military data on RAMP. RAMP is a Russian dark web. Everything is written in Russian. It's a completely Russian owned dark web. So we will have a separate episode about what is dark web and how what we see in the surface is why it's totally different. So now these data has been put on sale, and they have openly challenged Shabak that we have the complete information of your worldwide operation. Now one more thing happened in this Israel in the starting day. Kibbutz is a place where the maximum killings happen. They went on a rampage, went door by door, they started killing people. So what these guys did is, the Hamas terrorists did is, they killed people but they took off their digital devices. That includes their iPhones, iPads, laptops and mobile phones. They took it back to Gaza, then they opened it, they logged into the social media profiles of those people who were killed or kidnapped. They used that ID and then they started posting videos, very nasty videos of how they treat the hostages, how they have killed and cold-blooded execution of children. So all this has been put on the people who were killed. Their social media accounts has been used and the photographs and things have been posted. Now when this happens, it creates a lot of fear, it creates a lot of terror in people's mind. That's the objective, and in a way they have literally achieved it. That's what we can say. Now running a website inside Gaza is really tough. The first thing which an Israeli Air Force will target is their mobile towers and so on. So what the connection and the bandwidth, the speed of the internet is all limited. So what these guys have done they created around, and they were effective. Those who are not in Telegram can go back and see, but it is too risky. You need to really know which link are you clicking. So on a research purpose we did this. There are 600 plus groups which supports Hamas. So Hamas has to use a satellite phone, or a satellite phone, it's a SIM-based satellite phone, use the data and send one video to one of this channel link, a Telegram link. From there, because that is worldwide. Somebody can operate it from Pakistan, somebody can operate from Turkey or anywhere, even in China. From there, the video gets propagated to the entire world. Multiple channels. Then we all know how this video reaches us in our mobile phone. So 600 plus communication channels effectively reaching around 20 million Telegram users, in spite of their internet being shut down, internet being monitored. So we can see shutting off internet, banning a book, banning a video, banning a movie, banning a website. Nothing is going to work at this point of time, because we know how strong Israel is in terms of cyber and tech. If that country is not able to control this, I have a serious doubt of other big countries, even countries like America or India. Now, there is a research which was done by Flashpoint, one of the researchers. They say Telegram has got 700 million plus user base. It is difficult to de-encrypt it. It is difficult to track it. Most of the terrorist organizations across the world, when we were researching, we banged into ISIS Khorasan province, ISIS KP's terrorist group. Then we have to exit because they saw our username. They removed us, they blocked us, and these channels keep mutating. By the time an intelligence agency identify a Telegram channel of a terrorist group or a support group, we know in Telegram you can go scroll all the news and the videos and images since the time the group is started. This is not available in WhatsApp. WhatsApp, the moment you join the group, you will be able to see the pictures, videos and messages from that point of time only. But in Telegram you can go scroll back and take a data which is like even 1 year old. Now that has been effectively used. All their calls, they have been using Telegrams, and they also mutate. The principle of mutation here is, moment they identify something, they will use a bot to extract all the user data, the user IDs. They will create some other group and all the users will be default added. You would have seen this, people adding you in random groups, and then you have to report and leave option which is given by Telegram. So Telegram is being effectively used by all the cyber criminals and the jihadi groups and the militant groups across the world. So that has played real havoc on in the Israeli war. In 2018, so this is a very interesting story, applies to all of us. We all know FIFA World Cup happened, and Israelis are very, very fond of football. So Israeli defense forces, where they are remotely posted in all those field locations where they have very limited access to the civilian population. So these guys keep watching the football score, live updates and highlights. And it costs money. Nobody gives you free. Netflix or if you want to watch this thing, you have to subscribe and you have to pay some money. So there is an app called Golden Cup. So that was offered free. It was a very small app, I think a 5 MB app or so. It promised that we will not have any advertisements. We'll give you live free updates, quickest possible score to you at your mobile. So a lot of Israelis have downloaded this. The civilians and the military, both together, they have downloaded this, and now they have started using the app. After the FIFA World Cup was over, the entire data, which includes the affected phones, photographs, videos, geolocations, camera, the voice recorder, including intercepting calls. Every of this data has been hacked by this group, which created the Golden Cup app. And they have, by the time the Google Store, Play Store realized it, it was too late. Sizable amount of Israeli soldiers' data, which includes where they go in, what kind of, when soldiers sit and have a beer together, they discuss a lot of military stuff. So all of their military data has been compromised, and it has gone in the hands of Hamas and other terrorist groups. The moment it goes to the dark web, and then it's up for sale. Whoever is the highest bidder, get it. And this money is again very difficult to track because they use bitcoins to do it. If your website is hacked by some hacker group, they are going to ask you, some bitcoins to be paid in such a account. So this is a very, very complex sign, and it's a clear warning to us. We assume that, I have a pseudonym, probably, and then I keep uploading something. It's assumed that nobody knows me. In Indian Army, in Indian Navy and Air Force, the armed forces, they have banned active serving soldiers from using any sort of social media app, which may be a first level of defense. But some apps, like we have lakhs and lakhs of apps in Google Play Store. If somebody makes an app, or for God's sake, we don't know if it is there. Somebody makes an app like the Golden Cup and start extracting the Indian soldiers' data. There's a question mark. How are we going to respond to it? Now the Google, the Android, all the social media platforms and things we use on a day-to-day basis have become a bigger monster, which we discussed in the last video. It's now time for us to think what is the way forward to control this. There are subject matter experts in this. We will research it and we will present to you. If you have a better research article, you want to come on the channel and speak to it, but with complete facts and research based, not typically we call it a GAN. We welcome you to do so. You can record a video, send it to us, or you can write the article to us, email it to us. We will do the analysis and we will publish it. So the question here is, are we geared up for this? If Israel can face this, which is constantly under threat, which has got the best technologies in the world, we have to do a self-introspection of how secure at least our defense forces data are. Creating a technology, reaching moon is fine, it is good, it's a great achievement. But securing that data is equally important. So when we were discussing this, so one of my team member told, if you have a smart TV in your bedroom that got the camera, or your laptop with the camera anywhere, please put a physical sticker on it when you don't use it, because none of our information is safe. Anything and everything can be hacked. So I hope I've done justice by briefing this article. The author is somebody else. We will introduce you with his consent. Hope you like this video. Please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you all. Jai Hind.